Last day we were discussing about linear regression. Let's first recapitulate what we learned last day, and then we will be doing a problem. Are you guys familiar with Kaggle? Any idea what is Kaggle?
I have heard of it.
Yes, like when you are doing competitive programming, you have heard uh, things like code forces, lead code, like this code chef, like this. For machine learning, the reputed one is the Kaggle. They launch various problems and you can solve them and get score regarding that. And the top three or top four, like this, the candidates get prizes as well, prize money. They are giving prize money as well. But it is a practicing environment where you can practice your code. And someone was asking what is Jupyter Notebook. On the Kaggle kernel, you will find a thing like an interface similar to the Jupyter Notebook, and which is very helpful because it is an interactive interface. I will be speaking about it today. You will see. I will run the code and you will see what is interactive and what. Mm, Let me present my screen and let's recapitulate what we learned last day. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Just to recapitulate, nothing else. Like last day I was speaking, there is a regression problem. How you solve a regression problem. Suppose there are 5 to 6 points like this. There are various points. Now you have to draw a straight line. Okay, the straight line is your answer curve. You are fitting the curve to this data set. Suppose these are all the values. This is x1, this is x2. These are all values, and you are fitting the data. So like this, suppose you have drawn a straight line which is passing through, say, three dots. All these dots or all these points are the dependent variables, and this straight line is suppose y. This y is the independent variable. We call this y independent variable, and this all these coordinate points are the x coordinates, x1, x2, x3. All these are dependent variables. So what you have to do while in the regression problem is you have to find a straight line, this y, which will pass through maximum number of points. Now you will agree with me that you can't make this straight line pass through all the points. Like if you draw a straight line uh, if you draw a straight line, it will pass through, let's say 2 points. You can see it is passing through, roughly passing through 2 points. So at one point of time, you can't draw a straight line which passes through all these points. So what you have to do is you have to make an optimum straight line which passes through maximum number of points. So this is basically a regression problem. Okay, last day we learned about this. I am not going into detail of how it is done. Last day I talked about the cost function and all, and how you calculate distances from all the other points with respect to this straight line to find the optimum straight line. So let's continue from there only. Today let's dive into a real world problem and try to see how it is solved. Okay, till now you guys got the regression right?
Yes, yes. Right.
Because if you don't, then further it will be a problem. So let's just see the problem. Is the problem visible? Can you read? Or should I zoom in?
Please zoom in a bit.
Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, it is open.
Okay. Just read the problem. Just read the problem. What it is asking, and then tell me. All of you just read the problem. this last line is very important. This last line, what they are asking is, we ask you to build a predictive model that answers the question, what sorts of people were more likely to survive. So the question is, the Titanic shipwreck happens, okay, and now they are asking to us to predict, depending on few factors, which passengers will survive. Like they have provided us a data set of the passengers, say name, age, gender, socioeconomic class, etc. Like in the Jamboard I was drawing, no, that coordinate points, x, y, that small dots, that coordinate points. You can imagine this name, age, gender, all this to be that points. And what we have to predict is that straight line, that y straight line we have to predict. That what sort of people would survive. Would it depend on name? Suppose a person's name starting with A, will that person survive? Or a gender-based survival rate is there, like a male or a female will be more likely to survive the Titanic shipwreck, or the socio-economic class, like the rich is surviving or the poor is surviving. They are asking us to predict this. Did you got the question? Like what they are
Yes,
asking?
yes.
Okay. So now by doing regression, we will be predicting on which factors our survival rate depends. Before starting, let me tell you one thing. In all this kind of problems, now what you are provided is a test data set and a training data set. What is training and what is test is, for test data set, for training data set, you are provided the survival rate. Suppose a passenger details is provided. Acha, wait, let me show you the train data set, then you will understand better. Wait, is the file visible? It is a
Yes, it
CSV
is.
file. It is a CSV file. See the headings. There is the passenger ID, the survived. Okay, this column is very important. Survived. This survive is denoted by 0 and 1. By 0, it means the person is dead, and by 1, it means the person survived the shipwreck. Then there are other things like P class, name, sex, age, like this. A lot of headings are provided. All these headings, this fare, ticket, parts, ship, SP, age, all these are the dependent variables, and we have to predict this survival rate based on all this data. Now you may ask me that, bhaiya, the survived is data is already been provided, then why should we do a regression? Actually, what we are doing is, we are considering that this survived is absent. This survived thing is not given. Okay, and now we are predicting, our regression model is predicting based on these names, sex, age, all these things. It is predicting whether a person will survive or not. Okay, now suppose the model predicts that the answer is 1, or the person survived. Okay, but what is given? See, here it is given 0. That means there is an error. Okay, like this it compares. Okay, the survived was 0, but we are getting as a result 1. So there was an error. In the next row, it does the same thing. It is saying that, acha, the answer should come 1. Like last day I was saying the answer line, it is this value, this 1. This is the supposed answer that should come from the regression model. But what answer we are getting is, suppose we are getting 0, then there is an error. If we get 1, then there is no error. That's perfectly fine. It was supposed to give that the person survived, and it is giving. The regression model is giving that the person survived. So there is no problem. Got it?
Yes.
Okay, this is trained data. Let me show you how the test data is different from it. See, can anybody tell me what's the difference between train and test?
There is no survived column.
Exactly. Why they have not given the survived column? Have they done any mistake? What do you think?
This is the data that we use to predict.
Exactly. On this data, we will predict based on the trained data. From the trained data, we trained our machine. That's why the name is train. We are training the machine to learn from the previous data. And based on that training, we are testing on this data set where the survived is not provided. Survived column is not provided. we will be predicting the survived column. Okay, and based on that, on the test results, we will be given a score. That is how Kaggle hosts its challenges. They provide a trained dataset and a test dataset. From trained dataset, you are training your model, and from test dataset, you are getting an output, and that output is compared with their solution, and based on that, your solution will be graded. Fine. So okay, let's open the trained dataset once again. So the trained dataset and test dataset is almost same. The only difference is the survived column is not present in the test because you have to predict it. So now it's very simple. Like someone can tell me, okay, feed all these things, all these headings. See, there is 10 of 12 columns. So there are 12 columns. So feed the machine with all these 12 columns, and then the machine will be trained. And based on that, your test data set, we will be giving the test data on the to the model, and it will predict the answer. So basically very simple, right? It seems very easy, right? Hello.
Yes, it seems.
Yeah, obviously it seems easy, but there is something. Otherwise I wouldn't have told you that this is a very important session. It is very important. Let me show why it's important. See, on the screen you can see a code. You need not understand what it is. I will be explaining it, but just see. This is the 7 to 10 lines code which will give your answer. See, there is this features. I was saying na, that all those 10 columns, all those 10 columns are called features. Like you might have noticed in the test set. Let me open once again. See, there is a column called sex. So there is a sex in the features. Then there is age. There should be age somewhere in this table. Oh no, shit, there is no age. Why? Why you think there is no age? Did I commit some mistake in the features? Like if P class is present, you can see P class is there, but this age column is not there. Why? Can somebody tell me why?
Age is there by just beside
A-
sex column.
Age is there. Oh, acha, sorry, age is there now. Okay. Something is missing. Acha, family size is missing. See, there is no family size. P class name, other things are there, but family size is missing. There is nothing called family size in this data set. See, so that means the data set they have provided to us is not complete. Okay, we have to do some cleaning of the data set. While you are learning machine learning, you will come across this term very often. Frequently, you will come across this term cleaning. And what does this cleaning means? Cleaning means to make your data set ready to fit this model. Like I showed you this code, this 6 to 7 line code. I will be explaining each and every line, what it means, and later. But first, you have to understand that the data set you have been provided, you can't just directly feed into the model. Okay, suppose I can clearly see there are 10 columns, but see, I have used only 6 columns, not more than that. There's a reason behind it, right? That is the reason. Mm, like let me show you on the Jamboard one thing. Right. um, Suppose there is this point, you can see that I drew a new point here right above that y straight line. Can you see that point?
Yes.
Okay, now somebody tell me that if my straight line is passing through these 3 points, and now this suppose this dot, suppose this is the fare. Suppose in that column there was something called fare, and this dot represents that fare column. Suppose I don't include this fare in my training model, would that be a mistake? Will I be committing some mistake if I don't include the fare column in the training data set?
I think yes, because the class depends on the fare.
Yes, exactly. So there will be mistake. You can't just randomly delete some columns. Okay, that is the work of the machine learning algorithm to do. It's not your work to do. Like to keep fair and to delete some column. That is not your work. Your machine learning algorithm does it for you. It will find out. Acha, it will depend on this age. It will depend on ticket value. It will depend on name. Like this, it will train itself. You need not worry like should I give this thing, should I give that thing, then why did I delete this, why did I delete that column. See, there is a column called parch. See, there is nothing called parch in these features. Okay, there is nothing called this parch. Why we are doing this is when we are given a data set now, you will see that all the data set is not appropriate for our use. Like see, if you see this like later when you will be working on other examples or something like that, you will see some data sets are redundant. And what do I mean by redundant? See this parts value. Let me scroll down. See, in most of the cases, you will find that the parts value is 0, 0, 0. Okay. In few cases, it might be that it might be one or two like that. Or sometimes see in this cabin value, is the cabin column visible?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, see in the cabin column, some values are missing. So what can we do about this? We can't train our model on this data because see, almost for most of the cases, the data is incomplete. There is a scarcity of data. So so in the training model, you can see that we have deleted the cabin column. We are not including it because a column like this, a data set like this, can cause our machine learning algorithm to work inappropriately. It might say that for cabin A9, people are dying more because the data set is less. Okay, if the data set is less or there is a scarcity, see, for most of the rows it's missing. So we have dropped that column. We have dropped that column in our data set. We can do that. If somebody asks me if I can do that, based on your experience, you're working with more projects, you can come to this conclusion, okay, I can delete this cabin column. But initially, while you're learning, at first you don't do this. If you do this, then there will be some problem. You might miss some important dependent variables. This age, sex, name, all these are dependent variables. Now, if you miss any one of this, your machine learning algorithm will perform badly. So for the initial phase, you put all the values. Like in these features, you put all the values. By giving comma, you include all the values. Okay. Now let me tell you this. Y equals train data survived. This is a straight line. Just imagine this is the straight line I was drawing on the 2D plane. This y equals train data survived. This will predict how many people survived or the survival column. Okay, it will give results in values of 0 and 1. This is the y. Suppose just imagine this is the y straight line. And now these features, all these features are all these features will be the x values. Now you won't get what is this pd dot get dummies and all those things. You won't get. This is a code for pandas. You know pandas? Anybody know pandas? Please reply if somebody know pandas.
Again, we have heard of it, just the name, nothing more.
O- Okay. So initially you need not know what is pandas and what are all what is that, what is those. You- For initially you just learn Python. For the initial phase, you just learn Python. That will work. For later phase, I am showing this code so that you will get a better understanding of what is going on. You need not understand each and every line. Okay, just understand this x equals pd dot get dummies train data features. Or what this line does, just accept what I am telling is this x is that x coordinate on the 2D plane. This is the x coordinate. Just imagine this is that x coordinate. Okay, now what we will do is there is a model. Okay, there is a model. S- don't go with the name. Just suppose this there is a model, let it be x. We are that is the our regression model whose name is decision tree classifier. Okay, the name of the regression model is the decision tree classifier. Then we fit model dot fit x comma y. What it does is it is actually doing the job, like drawing the straight line with respect to all the x coordinates. Under this thing, under this fit method, there is this fit method which will perform it for you. If you're following any course, or I mentioned previous day the machine learning course by Andrew Ng. If you go through that course now, you will see for this fit function there is a code, there is a big code written behind it. In your free time you can read what is the algorithm behind this. In the linear regression, what is the algorithm, you can learn. But I don't think you will be interested in so much maths. If you learn maths, then it's good. Maths is always essential for learning anything. But to get an overview, just think this model dot fit is that regression thing. Model dot fit xy. It is fitting your x coordinates with respect to the 2D plane. Okay, and this is the prediction. By the name, you can understand what is predictions. Prediction means the model is predicting on the x test. X test means the test data set, right? Now, somebody please tell me if you got anything or not. Then I have to explain once again.
Please give a minute to let it sink.
Yeah, yeah, just go through it. If you don't get, then also it's okay. Initially, I don't expect all of you to understand each and every line. Okay, what is this random forest classifier? What is this decision tree classifier? Initially, you won't understand. If you tell me, I can explain in the next class the decision tree or this random forest classifier. I can make a separate video for that. Okay, but right now you don't need to understand what is the random forest classifier and what is that a decision tree classifier. Just understand this is the regression.
What is the difference between X and X test here?
X and X test. Okay. See, the X test is the train data. See, I have written this line pd.get dummies train data features. So what is this X variable is storing is it is storing the features. Features means the P class, XH, all these are features. And this X test is it is with respect to the test.csv file, it is storing the features from that file. Means it is storing the data under this column. So like this P class column, it is storing the data of this P class column. It is storing the data of fare. It is storing the data of family size. Like this, it is going on.
Okay, got it.
Actually, it's the last part of the code. If I scroll up, you will see there are a lot of things. Okay, this is actually the actual regression model. And before that, there is a data analysis part, the data cleaning and all those parts. I will be going through that also. But for regression part, just see this is the code. You have to write y equals train data. This is for the trained value of the y value which you need to predict. Then this x test is the all those 2D points. Just imagine that Jamboard picture. Just imagine that picture in your mind. There is a y straight line, and with respect to that, there are a lot of x coordinates. So these x test are those coordinates, and you are fitting the model. Just suppose, just imagine this model is a black box. Its work is to do regression for you. Don't think how it is doing, how it is done. Don't go into that complexity. Just just visualize this. There is a model regression which will be fitting x comma y. Fit means it is doing the regression. It will give you some values. Okay, in my case it will give that straight line. If you visualize that straight line, it is giving that straight line. And in real world problem, you don't get a straight line. No, that was just a visualization for you to understand better. Actually what it returns is predicted values, like 0 1, like that survival values it is returning. Okay, that is what it does. So should I start from beginning?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's start from beginning. That was just a view of the last part of the code. Just just see this. You want to understand all this line. I am telling you what it is doing is it is loading the Titanic train dataset, test dataset, and the submission dataset. This is basic. This code block is doing this only. And what I mean by interactive is, see, after all the code blocks, there is an output column. In command line, what you say is you write a whole code, and for that you get a single line answer at end. But in this case, what happens is because it's interactive, what you can do is you run a block, you wrote some few code, and then you run it. Then you get this answer. Okay, your dataset have been loaded successfully. Don't get into the complexity of what is this, all this import OS and all that. When you will be learning Python, you will get what is this. First to learn Python, then you would understand what all this line means. Okay, just see this thing. Train data equals pd dot read csv. So under pandas, there is a function called read csv. What it does is it reads this train dot csv. Just just see this thing. It is reading this train dot csv. And what does this train dot data dot head does? This function, what it does is it prints the value of the column. Like I showed you that CSV file, it basically prints that CSV file. Okay, is the screen visible? Can you see the data?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah, see, there is a value called NaN for the cabin one. Okay, what it means is while I was showing you the data set, I showed you few rows were missing, right? That is denoted by this none, NaN. It means there is no data available. Okay, and see this passenger ID, surveyed P class, all these things are all these headings are provided. All these are dependent variables. Now we load our test data set. This test data dot head in the bracket I wrote 10. It means you are printing 10 columns. You are printing 10 columns for the test data set. See, there are 10 columns. It's just that. Very simple, basic thing. You just don't know how to handle pandas, so it might be difficult. What is that? What is this read CSV and all that? But basically, what it does is read CSV does is it is reading this file path. This is reading this test.csv file path and storing in this test data. It's like an object. It is storing. This test data is storing this file and test data dot head. This will give the first 10 rows of this data set. Okay. Now someone can tell me, like, if you are given a data set where you are seeing that the death rate is biased towards women, like more women are dying, so can you say, like, you can predict that all women would die? Can you say something like that based on just observations?
We can just say some die. All,
What?
we can't
Some?
say that all. We can say some die.
Yeah, we can say some dead. Okay. um, See, there I have written this code block. I will tell you later. Percent of women who survived, see, 0.74. And the next code block, you see, percent of sorry, this will be person of men who survived. Okay, the percent of men who survived is 0.18%. Okay, so based on this data, you can understand that number of women are surviving more, right?
Yes.
So why we are trying to get an insight into the data? You can ask me, bhaiya, why are you doing so much stuff? Just give the data to the trained model and it will do your job. Why are you working so hard seeing the data and observing how many women are dying, how many men are dying? Why you need to do that? Machine learning algorithm is there. Why you are wasting human brain doing that? Actually, the answer to it is, when your machine predicts, now when your machine predicts, how will you know that the prediction is right? Let me give you an example. Like there is an case where your machine has to predict what is the color of a crow. Okay, you know that the color of the crow is black. Now, if the machine returns that the color of the crow for 10 cases is black and for 5 cases it is blue, okay, you will immediately understand that the machine is committing some mistake, right? You will,
Yes.
yes, you will understand that the machine is committing some mistake because crows are supposed to be black and not blue. Okay. Now, suppose your machine is training on some strange species. Okay. Let it be X. And it is giving that 10 cases for which the color is yellow of that species, and for 5 cases the color is green. Now you don't know what is the color of this species. Can you predict what is the real color of that species? It is green or blue. Machine is giving 10 creatures are green, means that creature X, for that creature X, there is 10 values for which the color is green, and for 5 it is blue. Can you tell which is the correct color?
No, we cannot because we have not actually seen the color of that species.
What?
We cannot say it is correct or it is not correct because this is an unknown to us also.
Exactly. It can be that 10, the value for like it is green because 10 cases are there, or you can say like your machine is working faulty. The 5 number 5 is the correct answer. It should be blue. Your machine is faulty, so your machine is giving wrong results. It is giving that 10 cases are of green and 5 are of blue. So your machine is wrong. So you can't predict, right? Because you yourself as a machine learning programmer, you don't know what should be the answer. Okay, so for machine learning, what is the first criteria? The first criteria is the human should be able to efficiently do it. Like I remember in the first lecture, I was telling that for machine learning algorithm to be efficient, the human needs to be at least 100% efficient. Humans can't be 100% efficient, but it needs to be close to 100% efficient. Like suppose if you can tell that the color of the crow is black, then your machine can also predict it's black, because what it does is the machine is predicting, right? So based on the predictions, suppose the machine is committing some mistake. How would you know that the machine is committing a mistake? There is no way that you would know there is a mistake. Okay, you need to know that the color of the crow is black, then only you can say that the machine is committing mistake for these cases. That is the main motive. What I am doing in this data set is I am finding the number of women who survived and the number of men who survived. I am saying that clearly number of women, the rate of survival of women is more. So now if my machine predicts that the survival rate of women is high, okay, then I will be at least I will be I will feel like, okay, my model is giving almost correct results, because what insight I got from the data is similar to what my machine is returning. But now suppose your machine is returning that the rate of survival of men is high, then right at that point you will understand that your machine is faulty. You have written something wrong. You have written a faulty code. Got it?
Yes.
Yes, right. So that is why we are doing all these things, like data cleaning, data visualization. First thing in machine learning is data visualization. You have to visualize the data. You have to see what the data is saying. That if the survival rate of women is high or the survival rate of men is high. So that is what is being done. Now let me just quickly tell you how it is being done. See, there is this code train data.loc, train data sex equals female, and another bracket, third bracket, survived. Okay. Remember in matrix, so in matrix operation, what you do is array of row comma column, right? You do this thing, right?
Yes.
Yes, so here also we are doing a similar thing. What we are doing is we are finding all those data set, okay, all those data for which the row is female. Suppose the row is female and the column is survived. What it means is we are finding all those women, okay, we are finding all those, not women, we are finding all those persons who are female as well as they survived. Okay, suppose suppose the person is a female and she survived. That is being stored in this woman variable. The woman variable is storing that if the person is a female as well as survived. Now just recall, I told you previously what value this survived stored. Survived class, what does this store? This survived class stores 0 or 1. So this woman variable will store two things. It can store, first thing it will store is a female, but the second thing what it will store is it can be that the woman survived and it can be that the woman died. Okay, so that is being stored in this woman. If I would have just mentioned in this, suppose I wrote this, wait, let me edit. Can somebody tell me what would be the difference between this command and the previous command, what I wrote?
It will check for all the males and the females in this one, and in the previous one, it will check for the female only who survived.
Exactly, you are right. I will be showing you the previous command once again. Okay, just let me tell you this. It is giving you four combinations. Okay, this if I mention this, this column name sex and this column name survived, it will give you four values. One it can give that it's a female and survived. Then it can give it female and did not survive. Then it can give main and survived, and the fourth one main and did not survive. These four cases are possible. Now we are doing a slight change. What we wrote is, see, this is a new command. What we did is train data dot sex equals female. So basically we are fixing that value. We are fixing this first row value. We are fixing it to female. So we are getting female value only. We won't get the male values. So two possible combinations. Okay, did you got it? You were asking what was the previous command?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So it is giving two possible combinations. Now see this command, rate woman equals sum of women. What this sum of women will do is it will count the value of women. In this woman variable stores 0 and 1. Okay. This woman variable will just store 0 and 1. Why you know? Because what it is returning is 0 true or false values. Like for female, it survived. Female comma 0. Next one female comma 1. For suppose another one it's female comma 0. Okay, like this it is storing. So from that data, if we sum that data, we will get how many women survived, because 1 means the survival rate and this length of women means total number of women. Okay, if you think closely, you will understand that this sum of women will give only the number of passengers who are women and survived, because this women variable is storing the number of women who survived and the number of women who died. So the died values are 0 and the survived values are 1. So summing that woman variable will give you at the as an end product is the number of women who survived, and this length of women will give the total number of women who were on that ship. So this basically will give you the percentage of women who survived. Clear?
Yes.
One thing you should do is after today's session, I might share this code. You go through this code, or I need not share this code. You open a account at Kaggle. Okay, you open an account in Kaggle and do this problem, Titanic survival problem. Okay, there you will get a lot of help. A lot of notebooks are there. A lot of people have already done this problem. This is a really famous problem. You read each and every line. First you learn Python, then you read and understand what each and every line is doing. I can't explain you each and every line by line. Okay, you just go through the code once and you will get. Okay, so basically here we are doing is we are trying to find if there is any dependency based on women. Now I am not explaining you all these lines. Okay, I'm just explaining what it does, and I'm not explaining how it is being done. What it does is, see, there is a column called dataset title, dataset name, and it does something blah blah blah. What it does is it is finding the number. See this output column. See, Mr. It is returning 517. So it is finding that for Mr. the person whose name begin with the title Mr. How many customers are there whose title is Mr. How many are there whose title is Miss? Again, we are doing this to find a dependency. Like for the woman one, we tried to find out if our survival rate depends on the gender. Similarly, we are brainstorming if we can find a relation between the title and the survival. So you can simulate like we did here. This main thing, woman thing. Like I found an accuracy, no, value. You can find this the same for these values also. I have not done that. I have not gone into that detail. I just basically just for one I showed. For the rest, you can also do the same and check if there is some dependency or not. Okay. Later you do this. At home you do this exercise. It will be same like this column. Like this I did na. Like this you do for every column. For main, for sorry, for title, for age, for ticket value, for everything you do and try to find if there is a dependency. You can do it later. Now, now see, now see this data. This see name, sex, age. This data. Now there is a problem. You can't directly fit this value. You all might be knowing that machine can only understand 0 and 1, right? Machine can only understand 0 and 1. So you can't just fit this. See, Brond, Mr. Owen Harris. You can't fit this data. You just can simply fit this data into the value, this table. You need to correct it to some value. You need to change it to some fixed value. Like, let me give you an example. See, this title mapping. I am doing this title mapping. See, I have written this code where there is Mr. For Mr. there is 0, for Miss there is 1. And see now in this data set, earlier in the data set there was nothing called this title. But now I have introduced this title column and I am giving it values. Okay, like like last day I was saying feature normalization. It is actually kind of feature normalization only. You are trying to bring all the features close to others. Okay, like suppose if your fare is in decimal 7.2, your title is also you are also trying to bring that in magnitude of 10. Like a fare is in order, see max it is suppose say 7153. So max magnitude is 100. So title values you choose in a similar way so that it is close to in magnitude, close to in not magnitude in power, close to in power for in case of this fare value. Last day I told in detail about this why we are doing this. I'm not going into that detail. Okay, there are a lot of codes. You just go through, you will understand. Like there is this line train data dot drop. Okay, what it does is it is dropping a column value. This particular line means it is dropping a value. I am dropping this name column. Why you must know. Can somebody tell me? I just explain why I am dropping this value.
By dropping, you mean you are deleting it.
Yes, by dropping I means deleting that column, removing from the training data set.
Because the names are quite random. Some have titles, some have just the name, some start with surname.
Exactly. So you can't just feed this data into the model because what your machine will know from this data, it can't find a pattern. Like previously, I was trying to find a pattern, like how many men survived, how many women survived. So there is definitely a pattern in that. So I'm definitely including this sex column, but I need not include this name column. Why I am including this? More important than name is this title column. Now you will say there is a pattern, like in this output you will see there is a pattern. Everything is about pattern. You can see the number of Mr. is so high. Now, if you somehow find out that the number of Mr. is so high and the survival rate of Mr. is high, so you can simply tell that Mr.'s number, the Mr.'s will survive more, and this Miss or this Countess will die. Okay, you can get an insight from this data. You can say there is a dependency. So these columns are important. Title column is important, but this name column was not important. Okay. Like this for the whole data set, you are going to do similar thing. You will be removing something which are not important, and you will be including something which are very important. And you will see throughout the code I am being doing this mapping thing. What this mapping does is, like I previously told, you can't just give the machine male female. What will machine understand by male female? You can understand male means male. What will machine understand? Machine understands 0 and 1 only. So you have to give 0, 1, 2, 3 like these numbers. You have to make the data similar. Okay, you can't give one in string, one in decimal, one in float. Like this, you can, um, like this, you can't give random data. You have to, while you are fitting the model, all your data must be in the same value. Like in either everything is integer or everything is in decimal, like that. All this thing I have done, and see, now this is a clean data. See, clean data is visible. This is the final clean data set. See, all integer values are there. Integer or decimal values are there. So now our model is ready for being trained. All we have done in the previous step was cleaning the data. We dropped few features. Okay. Like we did family mapping. For family mapping, what does family size means is, it is finding what is the family size, like for a man, if he's married or not. Like this various values, it's mapping to some values. See, there is cabin value. Then there is this fair value. We are mapping it to see 1, 2, 3 like this. We are mapping the data. And after all that mapping, we got this clean data set. Clear till now?
Yes, clear.
Yeah. Now little bit tricky part. This part is little bit tricky. Okay. Okay. This is the final code. This is the main code that you have to understand. This is the where regression is being done. This Y is the train data of the survived value. Okay. The person who survived the crash. Sorry, the shipwreck. And these features are can like here I did this P class, sex, age, fare, embark, and family size. Our final data set includes only these, and we have to give all. Like I was previously saying you, that can we choose to not select some values? Like my decision, I'm not choosing this column or that column. Can I do that? No, I can't do that. See, I have to select all the columns because your survival will depend on all these things. But yeah, it's not the actual one. Like the actual CSV file, it contained a lot of garbage values. There were some data missing, there was some cleaning need to be done, there's some mapping need to be done. All those stuff there was missing. So I cleaned the data. Finally, this is the clean data. Now suppose someone gives you the clean data, then all these steps I did now, all these steps are not necessary. All these steps are useless because you got the clean data set. Now what you have to do is simply you have to train the model. So up to this cell number 25, this was the work of analysis. You have to analyze, you have to clean the data. That was the work. Now you got the clean data. Now see, I fitted each and every value. I cleaned the data and got 5 columns, 5 headings, you might say, and I have fitted each and every value. Now I can't say I will not select family size. It's my decision. I don't think family size is important. It's not your decision. You can't decide that family size is not important. Okay. You will give your model the value. Your model will predict. Now suppose, now suppose, now suppose your model gives an accuracy of suppose 60%. Okay. You got accuracy of 60%. Now you remove this family size. Suppose you remove this family size column value. In the while training the model, you remove this family size. And now you get a value of an answer of 70%. Say your efficiency is 70%. So your efficiency improved. Now you would say, oh, can I remove the family size? Then I would say, yes, you can remove the family size. Because you know, why would you include that data? When you know that is redundant, your model doesn't perform well while that data is being there. So I just delete that data from the training set. Okay. So we are doing x equals this. This line means we are fitting the data. We are creating, see, x equals pd dot this thing train data features. we are importing all these features into this x variable. Okay, and now we are calling this x test. We are x test equals pd dot get dummies this test data features. You won't get anything because you don't understand, you don't know pandas, but just understand this 3 line code. What it is, it is fixing that xy coordinates on the 2D plane. It's selecting all the xy coordinates, x coordinates on the 2D plane. Okay, and this is the y. This y train data survive. This is the straight line. I have been going. I kept on saying that this is the straight line which is passing through 3 points. Just imagine this p class, sex, age. All these are points. Okay, there is one term called multivariate linear regression and single variate univariate linear regression. Last day what I was telling and today what I mentioned earlier, that was univariant. Okay, because it depended on only one value, like that x coordinate, there was only one coordinate. But this is a multivariate. This regression problem is a multivariate because under that x variable there are a lot of values. Like under age there is a lot of values being provided, so it's a multivariate. Okay, so that's not a problem. It's a univariant or multivariant. That doesn't matter. It can be anything. The basic structure of the code remains the same. What you have to do is you have to just write like this: features. These are all the features you want to incorporate into your model. Then you have to create the x points that all those x values are creating. Okay, this is some code which will just imagine you are on a painting canvas. You are drawing some 2D points. This 2 line code does that. It is drawing all those x points, and now your model is suppose a black box. It is doing something you don't know. Decision tree classifier. Okay, from the name you can just get this thing that what decision tree classifier does is it makes decision. Like in earlier classes you might have read about flowcharts. Okay, like in what flowchart does is, if yes then go to left, if no then go to right, then again there is a flowchart, go to left, go to right, like this flowchart. So decision tree, it's a tree like structure. Okay, for now you just understand it's a tree like structure which will decide how your model should work and all that. It will depend decide like that. It will draw a tree like structure. Yes, no, yes, no. Will your model depend on this? Yes. If your model depends on this value, will it depend on that? No, it won't depend. Like this, it is creating a tree structure. From that, it's a decision tree classifier. I can explain you more, but let's not fill your head with all these things on a single day. I can create a separate video for decision tree classifier. Then there is random forest classifier, SVC, all different algorithms are there. Okay, k-fold algorithm, a lot of things are there. Next day I can explain. It's your call. Do you want to learn all these things?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Yes.
Okay, so if you want to learn, next day I can do. When is your end sem examinations?
We are not really sure. Officially, it was said it would start from 22nd March, but we haven't been confirmed.
Okay, for the timing, let's just suppose it's from 22nd only. So we are getting another session before that. Today's 12th, so 19th we can take another session on this. I am not starting logistic regression right now. After your examinations are over, the next topic will be logistic regression. From for now, let's just focus on linear regression only. Sounds right?
Instead of 19th, you can do on 26th because 26th morning we will be giving the exam.
Oh,
So
26 we
that
have
would
a
be
test.
in
26 we have a test, na? Nice job.
that would be in the morning. So that ends the test.
Acha. Okay, let's see when 20th will do. Like I'm trying to do it before your exams.
Then 19th is okay.
Okay,
Okay, 19 is okay.
okay. So we will be doing another session on 19th. Then on that day I can tell you more about like what is random forest classifier and all that. Or if you have any doubt today, what you do is you read the code block, you see what is what and what how is things happening, and the next day you can ask doubts if any, and we can discuss more about it, because in one day you won't understand everything. It's not possible. No one would. So next day we can continue on that. For today, you just tell me how much you got. Like 20% understanding would also work as a starter.
Bhaiya, actually, I don't know Python language, so on the view of the language, I don't understand anything. But concept is clear.
Okay. One thing
I
is very
understood. Uh,
Hmm.
you continue.
One thing is important. Don't restrain yourself. Just don't say language is a problem. Language is never a problem. Just understand the concept. Language you will get there. In college you will be learning a lot of language. In second year you will be learning Java. In first year you will be learning C. In school life you might be knowing C++. There are a lot of languages. Then there is JavaScript, Java, a lot of things. Python. Okay, you don't just think from language point of view. What is language? Language is a framework. You are telling machine to do something. What is essential is the concept. If you understand the concept, then it's okay. Like when I was saying that these three lines features, what it is doing is it is drawing on a canvas 2D points. If you understand that, then it's okay. Then you can read documentation and know what is this pd.get and what is this test data, why we are writing like that, why not curly braces. You can get that later also, but the basic understanding is important.
Okay.
भैया
Hmm.
भैया you know Jupyter Notebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, भैया can you say about that?
Mm, there is basically no difference. Like today you watch this session, right? In Jupyter Notebook, you will see there is a similar interface. Let me show you. I have not run a single code block today. Wait, let me restart the session. Screen visible, right?
Yeah, still
Yes
visible.
भैया yes yes
Yeah. So see, I select this code block and I ran this. Okay. So see, there is an output. Okay. Then you came to this line, this command. Then you again run this one like this. You're getting an output. This is an interactive interface. Why this interactive interface is important is, suppose I am not sure about the data. I want to get visualization of the data. Now if you wrote the same code in Python, in command line, what you will get is a dumping of values, a dumping of output, like this column I got. Then again after that there is another cell, this cell. If I write in command line, I will get all these two data sets overlapped, and I won't get understand a single thing. So that is the problem of command line. So what is the advantage of this kernel or Jupyter Notebook is, it is an interactive interface. So you run a code, you ran that code. You wrote this code and you run. You will immediately understand, okay, my code is right or wrong. This is the data inside I'm getting like this. This is this is interactive. Jupyter Notebooks works in the similar way. There is no difference. And in there might be an other thing like Google Colab. You might have heard about Google Colab. There also similar thing
yes
happens.
भैया yes yes
Yeah. Yes. All these are interactive platforms. If you understand one, everything will be same. No difference. It is just interactive interface. Okay. Any more doubts? Did you understand the problem? Problem is more important. Jupyter Notebook is not that
Yes,
important.
understood the problem.
Yeah. How the problem is being handled, why we
yes
need
भैया yes भैया
uh, why we need to analyze the data. Very important thing. Later you will be coming across this term, like you have heard about data analyst, data scientist, but have you heard about machine learning engineer? Very few. Why is that? That is because the role of an analyst is very important. Like if you can't analyze the data, then how can you fit your model? You can't fit your model. You will not know how which data is important, which data is not important. So for that, and the analysis is important, and all these steps, like all these cells, we have done analysis of the data, analysis and cleaning of the data, which column I have included, which column is not necessary, like this I have done. And there is mapping. You got the mapping part, right? Why we are mapping and all. Hello?
Yes, Vinny.
Did you? Hmm. The mapping part is important.
I did not get the mapping part.
Acha. Mapping part you did not got. Okay, acha, okay. Mm, let me show one second. Okay, mapping is important because suppose, like in this column, see, there are values like m bar equals q. Okay. Mm, Now let me give you a simple example. C equals a plus b. Okay. A is an integer value and b is a string value. Can you add that?
No.
Yes. Machine learning algorithms, similar thing happens. While training the data set, you are finding a dependency, right? Last day I was saying there are points on the 2D plane. So suppose one point is an integer point and another point is a string point, then can you draw on a same, like in a 2D plane, can you draw it? No, you can't draw it. For drawing the points on the 2D plane, you need to calibrate the data set in a similar kind of uh, value. Like if it is integer or decimal, then it's okay. Now if it's suppose string, then you can't put a string point and an integer point together because you can't add a string value and integer value. It's like that only. You can't draw a string point and an integer point together. That is mapping. Is it clear now?
Yes, it's clear.
Yes. Any more doubt? This is the cleaning part. We cleaned the data and finally we got a data set where we got 5 to 6 features. Now we have to use all those features to train our model. Okay. And then we are getting some prediction values, and based on that prediction values we will be testing on the test data, this x test value, and after that we will be submitting our problem assignment, work done, like this only. So you can read other codes as well, like in on Kaggle only you will be finding a lot of notebooks are there. So you can read that up and you will get further insights into the ML world. Okay. So let's end it for today. And
Thank you.
if you have any doubt, yeah, and if you have any doubt, then you can write in the Telegram group. I will be clearing all your doubts. Okay. Okay. Thank you.